Hello my fellow crafters and welcome back to Inspiration for Cards. My name is David and today I'm going to be making a card for you. Unfortunately the occasion is not that good. I need a sympathy card. But yeah, that's also part of life, and I'm going to make a beautiful card using Lavinia. So let's switch the cameras around so we can actually see what I'm doing. I'm using a square card. This card base is 6 by 6 inches. It's a nice sturdy card base. I've got a 5.5 by 5.5 inch piece of watercolor cardstock here. And I'm going to be using some pumice stone and tumbled glass to make my backgrounds. So let's get started. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to smoosh my ink onto this acrylic block. Like that. And then I'm going to spray that with water. Just like that. Then I'm going to take my acrylic block and turn it over and press it onto the card, making it sort of in the center. Moving it slightly. There we go. Then I will press it and give that ink some time to sink into the paper. This is going to give us a very subtle, soft gray background. There we go. And I'm going to dry that. Next, I've cleaned my plate. I'm coming in again with my frayed burlap, a little less this time. Spray with some water again and push it back on again. This way, because it's the oxides, it will layer the color on there. And by pressing on this plate, I can see where it's more and where it's a bit less. And this way I'm building up my background on my card panel. Just giving that ink some time to sink into my card before I take it off. There we go. And dry that again. And I'm just taking a piece of paper towel to dab off any of the excess I don't want on there. And with what's left on my block, I will just put that on again. Just activate a bit of the oxides using my finger. Spreading it around a bit, and then I will just put that on again. And press. And you see there's more droplets there. That's enough of this color, so I'll just clean off my plate. And let this work its thing for a moment. Now, in a perfect world, you would let this to dry by air. I don't have the time because I'm filming, so I'm just quickly gonna give this a heat set. But if you let it dry by air, it'll intensify the colors just a bit. I will just take my paper towel and dab some excess off that is still on there. Just help that card go back to its original state. There we go. Next I'm coming in and I'm doing the same with tumbled glass, a very light blue color. I'm just putting that on my block, slightly less than I used the pumice stone. Give that a spritz of water. And put that onto my card front. And press again. Just want that hint of blue in there. I'm not sure you can see it. There's just a hint of blue in there. That's what I wanted. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my pumice stone again, put that on my block, take my splatter brush, pick up some of that blue. I'm just going to add some splatters of that blue onto my card. See, just some of this tumbled glass splatters on there. Now let's give this a good dry because I'm going to stamp on this, and because of that we need to make sure this is really dry, because otherwise the ink will not adhere that well to it. So I will dry this and then I'll be back. And here we have our background. In real life, I'm not sure you can pick it up, and in real life there's a lot of depth and layering on the card. Let me see if I can bring it even closer. There you see it a bit. There's a lot of depth and layering in there. So next I'm coming in with my Sharpie and I'm going to give this a black outline. I don't want to use a black matte layer. And I love this technique that I saw from, I think it was Tracy Evans. Use the Sharpie to just give it a black outline. And that really pops off the card then. There we go. Pretty. Next I'm going to stamp on my, how do you call these? Dandelions. And I'm going to stamp them on using my VersaFine black onyx. So I'll just ink that up. Making sure all these little details are inked up. That's the thing with the Lavinia stamps, they are very detailed, very pretty, but yeah. Okay, then I will just put on my first dandelion on there. I'll just give that some time to sink in, give that ink some time to really sink into that paper, give it some pressure, make sure all that detail transfers onto that card. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I'm just going to take my cloth and wipe off the black. Because next I'm coming in with my VersaFine Clary Morning Mist. I'm just going to ink this up and see how dark this stamps. I might use the second generation of this. Just put that right here. Second generation stamp. See, that makes it disappear towards the background. Just a tiny bit. Okay, next I'm taking this smaller dandelion, ink it up with my black, and repeat. Put on my morning mist. And put on that second generation next to it here. And right here. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. Next I've got a piece of card here. Just let me wipe up this ink before I smudge that all over the place. I'm going to take my sentiment that's coming from this sentiment set Heartfelt Verses. And I'm going to use the With Love and Sympathy. So I've got my sentiment strip here, and I've inked it up with my Versamark Black Onyx. I'll just stamp this out on the same watercolor paper as I used below. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, using my long neck scissors, I will just cut that out. Now, using my pumice stone, I will just scrape over the edge to color that edge gray. Don't want it black. And then what I'll do, I'll take my watercolor brush and I will just make sure it's clean. That might help. Just pick up a bit of that color from the edge, color in, pull that soft gray pumice stone towards the inside, just giving this a haze of color. Now I've got a black glittered gel pen here, and I'm just gonna draw a line alongside this dandelion. Giving it a bit more light. I'm not even sure the camera picks this up. It's just ever so slightly. Next, I'm coming in with my Signo white gel pen, and I'm just going to put little white dots on all these black. Yeah, how do you call these? Seeds? Seed heads? Little dots, giving it a pop of white. There we go. Next, I'm just going to take a piece of tape. It's a thicker foam tape that I will trim down to fit on my sentiment. I'll just put that up a tiny little bit. Give it some dimension, because it's quite a flat card. And using my little tweezers, I will just see where I want this. With Love and Sympathy. And put it on. Next, I've got my Caran d'Ache watercolor pencils here. I'm just going to take this black. Just going to come around this sentiment, creating a bit of a shadow around that. Then I've got my watercolor brush. I'm just going to activate that ink just with little circular motions, pulling that ink out a bit, creating a soft shadow line around. And I think this concludes the panel. I like it. I don't want to do much more to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card base. Got my card base here. I'm just going to put some glue on my card panel. Just putting some glue on the back of this card, and then just a little bit all over the card, because this panel is so warped. It really needs that glue to hold it down correctly. Now I'm just going to position that, creating an even border. I'm going to put that onto my card. I'm just going to really press down on the side. Just using my hand to rub on that card from the inside. There. Now I want to do one more little thing. And I'm actually going to take a different acrylic block. I'm going to put on both of my dandelions. I'm just going to stamp that on the inside using my Morning Mist. And just ink that up. And I will just stamp that right here on my card. This is going to be the inside. Okay, and here we have our final result, the final card. I think it's lovely with the layered depth we have on the front, and then with the simple dandelions on the inside. Yeah, I think this turned out really pretty. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider to subscribe to my channel. That would really make my day. Thank you for watching this one, and I will love to see you for the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.